G'day everyone. This isn't a normal video, which explains why it is chronologically out of whack, because this flight was taken at the end of my trip. I've chosen to do this episode first because of my excruciating experience with this airline and the ground handling agent in Auckland airport. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for delays and cancellations, and I absolutely understand these things do happen. But what makes a huge difference to our experience is how these events are handled by the parties involved. Imagine two hands coming together for a handshake, but somehow never meet. This whole fiasco will be broken into two parts, so let's strap in and let this experience begin in New Zealand's busiest airport.
Uncle has come a long way, yeah.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
And that's right guys, I'm coming to you from Auckland International Airport, and I've just checked out of Novotel Hotel behind me, which is just across the road from the airport terminal. The Auckland airport is behind me, and that's Novotel. So today I'm on the homeward bound journey back to Australia. So I'm flying from Auckland to Sydney on LATAM. So LATAM is one of the many numerous fifth freedom carriers that flies across the ditch between Australia and New Zealand. So today we get to experience what this South American airline is all about. So come along with me and I'll show you what it's like. Let's do this.
Everybody just do your thing.
My seriously bizarre experience with this airline began literally during the booking process. Qantas was the one who sold me this ticket, Auckland to Sydney and Adelaide as my final destination. This sector on LATAM and the second sector with Qantas. All on one booking reference in business class via the Qantas app. But because this one-way ticket began its journey in Auckland, the app directed me to Qantas's New Zealand website. And then this message appeared. So I had to brace myself to deal with the call center, but they got it done, and even waived the booking fee because of the website error. Once the itinerary was confirmed and the flight appeared on my Qantas app, I realized seats weren't assigned. So once again, the Qantas call center got involved, but they said they could not do anything because it was a LATAM operated flight. So I asked about the Sydney to Adelaide sector. They could not touch that either, even though it was a Qantas flight. I had to approach LATAM to get this sorted. I was assured the booking reference was similar for two airlines. So I downloaded the LATAM app and tried it, but I got no joy from there. Trying to get help from LATAM's call center was really challenging. This was their website. So yeah, not very helpful. Qantas call center once again got involved, and they gave me the number to the Sydney office. This number was routed to a call center in America, which was outsourced to India. This was when the really bizarre experience began. In order for me to assign a seat, they were going to charge me 764 American dollars. I had to get the agent to repeat the amount slowly. American dollars, not Chilean pesos. I also repeated, all I'm asking for is a seat assignment. Yep, the agent repeated slowly and louder this time, like I was the token Asian getting caught with undeclared food on an episode of Border Security Australia, getting told what to do. Next thing he said really raised my alarm bells. He said he had my credit card details and all I had to do was to agree, and he'd go ahead to charge the card. I hung up immediately. I called them again after 10 minutes and got the call center in India again. But now the seat assignment fee was very strangely reduced to 660 American dollars. So I queried why, and the response was the fee reduction is offered because I rejected the first offer. I did not realize I've called a Sunday market where airline fees are up for a haggle. Once again, this agent repeated the thing about my credit card. As much as I love my seafood, when something smells this fishy, my guard goes up immediately. I hung up the phone, blocked my card, and got them replaced. So I walked up to the check-in counters in Auckland this morning, not knowing if I was even going to get a window seat. Thankfully, I was assigned to seat 5L on this aircraft. I also managed to snag another window seat on the Qantas 737 from Sydney to Adelaide. So for those of you who are tempted to do this flight, just be aware of this truly insane situation with LATAM when it comes to getting advanced seat assignments. As of May 2020, LATAM is no longer a member of the One World Alliance, which is a shame because they were one of the founding members of this alliance when they were LAN Chile back in the day. So we're not heading to the Qantas Lounge this morning. Instead, we are assigned to Strata Lounge. Dark, moody, stylish tones for airline lounges seem to be the trend these days. Unfortunately, Strata Lounge at Auckland Airport seemed to have missed the memo. There's nothing inherently wrong with the decor, but there's really nothing to sing about either. This space is just as charming as an office pantry. However, I feel the saving grace is really the lounge catering. It was actually pretty decent. As luck would have it, the eventual rolling delay of this flight later on meant that I would pay this lounge another visit later today. Being New Zealand's largest and busiest airport, Auckland Airport feels very functional and lacks a little zest. On this trip, I fly through some of New Zealand's smaller but insanely beautiful airports. So I hope you'll stay tuned to this travel series. The other videos will be linked in the description as and when they get published. Even better, hit subscribe and the bell icon so you won't miss what's coming up next. So here's a huge kia ora and a tena koe for your support. Ah yes, you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Here I am standing next to the beautiful LATAM Dreamliner, a Boeing 787-9 which was meant to fly us across the ditch this morning. Parked at this fantastic location is Charlie Charlie Bravo Golf November. This aircraft first flew in November 2017, which makes her just over 6 years old at the time of writing. I'm all about immersing myself into new experiences, so as a first-time flyer with LATAM Airlines, I've been so excited about today for the last few months. However, online forum comments about this South American carrier are less than ideal. So I've come on this journey today with severely managed expectations. By the time I stepped into the boarding lounge, the vicinity was literally hustling and bustling. Most passengers looked tired, as they should because they've just endured an overnight flight from Santiago. The first sign something wasn't right was the engine cowlings of engine number 1 were open. Murmurings from the passengers around me were in bits and pieces, but I gathered that the flight had left Santiago more than 2 hours late because the original aircraft broke down, and another replacement had to be arranged. Now this replacement aircraft is getting poked at as well. Not looking good. LATAM Flight 801 originates in Santiago, Chile. It makes the trans-Pacific flight to Auckland, where its scheduled arrival time of 5:20 AM allows some passengers to connect to the first bank of Qantas Jet Connect flights to destinations all around East Coast Australia. It then continues to Sydney at 8:40 AM, after that strange long transit time, where passengers like me can further connect to other Qantas flights to get to our final destination in Australia. And since this flight had arrived an hour 20 minutes late, the first signs of distress were these passengers who missed their Qantas connection here in Auckland Airport. Our scheduled departure time of 8:40 was closing in, but there was still no announcements. Eventually, just after 8:40, an announcement was made that our new departure time was now 9:15. It seems the gate agents were too caught up with the first batch of irate passengers who missed their flights.
They've just retracted the bridge, so we're not going anywhere for now. So what time is it now? It is 9:06. So we were supposed to depart at 8:40. but they've announced a delay. It was supposed to be 9:15, but they've retracted the bridge now, so God knows what's going to happen. A lot of passengers in this waiting room, they have connecting flights in Australia, so that's going to be interesting.
The next announcement came very swiftly that our departure was now 10:30, and that would probably be the last time we heard the gate agents make any sort of announcements. Because going forward from here, the lack of information would underline the experience right till the very end. Meal vouchers were now getting distributed. The issue is, if you were seated away from the gate agents, you would not have known about it. Because, there were no announcements. So after I collected my voucher, a couple of us went about to other passengers scattered about the adjacent gate lounges as well to tell them about the vouchers. Congrats, Swissport. I've just done your job.
So we are now delayed. They say 10:30, but I have a feeling it's going to be an indefinite delay. So they've given us a meal voucher worth 25 New Zealand dollars. So I'm going to head back into the terminal upstairs to see what can I get for 25 New Zealand dollars. Yeah. There. Uncle is coming with me.
Co-blogger. Cheers.
Are you happy with the delay?
Very happy.
Very happy.
Kidding? After a long flight from Santiago.
Yeah, Santiago. Yeah.
Sure.
Uncle has come a long way. Yeah.
Auckland Airport has to be one of the most expensive airports I've ever been to. This plate of smoked salmon croissant was 25 New Zealand dollars. So that was all my spending money, all gone to a sandwich. I was inspecting it very carefully because I'm very sure there are flakes of gold beneath this radioactive-looking hollandaise sauce. As expected, 10:30 came and went without a word. I suppose we all instinctively joined the line to see what the fuss was. Point to note, there were no special arrangements for business class passengers. It was just one giant mosh pit.
I've been hearing words that the flight has been cancelled. So we are all lining up to get our flights reorganized because a lot of us have connections beyond Sydney. Let's see what happens when we get to the front of the line.
With every passenger, there was the complicated issue of trying to find them last-minute flights out of Auckland. And this being the last day of school holidays, you can imagine the challenge for these agents. Air New Zealand and Qantas came to the rescue, so while some managed to secure flights out today, others weren't so lucky and had to stay the night. Seeing the stress these agents were under, I thought I'd make their job easy and just ask to be put on the same LATAM flight tomorrow. A couple of others felt the same, because we are nice people. We all assumed today's flight has been cancelled. And here's the incredible thing. Till this point, there was no announcement alluding to a cancellation of LA801. But the agents could not make the announcement because LATAM themselves had not given the all clear to cancel. And here we are in a rebooking frenzy. Communication between Swissport and LATAM was done via WhatsApp, as unbelievable as that sounds. Texting back and forth between these agents and LATAM in Santiago was furious, and response was extremely slow. Because everyone's itinerary could not be amended until someone in Santiago has given the green light. This was when it dawned on us that LATAM doesn't even have a rep from the airline stationed here in Auckland. I know WhatsApp says they're encrypted from end to end, but we had sensitive personal data, images of our passports, boarding passes, barcodes, and such being transmitted to get things done. Please tell me this is normal from a security point of view.
It is now almost 12, so I've been at the airport for 6.5 hours now. So I'm still at the gate area. So we're not going anywhere today. Flight has been cancelled. I've opted to stay overnight in Auckland, so they're giving me a hotel. I'm heading back to the lounge to get away from the chaos, and so they will call the lounge to let me know what's going on. Yeah, that's crazy.
Back at the Strata Lounge, it was time for lunch. So I got comfortable and settled down for a delicious lunch of Fijian paneer curry. I do have to commend this lounge on the excellent catering. Suppose the only missing link to complete this experience was a barista station for my coffee fix. Think I've been spoiled by Aussie airline lounges in that regard. By the way, remember I mentioned there was still nothing about the flight being cancelled? More than 4 hours after our scheduled departure, the flight is still listed up there with no updates. Meanwhile, passengers were getting email notifications, SMS alerts, and even the Flight Radar 24 app on our phones had all said the flight has been cancelled. Once again, communication seems to have broken down somewhere. You just cannot make this shit up.
It is now 1:15. So I went back to the lounge. There was no update, so I came back here. They are still sorting out the remaining passengers over there. So yeah, it's taken them a long while. So it is now 1:15. So I'm going to check with them to see if they have an update about my hotel, what's going on. Yeah, it's been a long day.
The non-communication would prove to be a recurring theme throughout this experience because there were only a handful of us who remained in Auckland, either by choice or because there were simply no more flights available today out of this airport. We hung around in limbo, waiting for the staff to give us directions on what was happening next. And why are we still here after so many hours, seemingly none the wiser from an hour ago? I have to say, no one lost their temper and all of us kept incredibly calm, knowing how stressed the staff were on trying to resolve this hot potato which landed on their laps. We all agreed losing our shit would not have made the situation any better. At 1:45, we were finally given directions to head towards immigration. Thereafter, someone would meet us on the other end at landside to escort us to our hotel transportation. Those remaining in Auckland numbered about 60-odd passengers. So was it beyond their mental capacity to get us sorted as early as possible so we would be out of their frazzled hair? Also at this time, the staff from Swissport would commence their incredible, magical act of disappearing. Because from here on, we were left to our own devices.
So for the second time on this trip, I've been immigration cleared into Auckland International again. So now I just have to figure out where the hotel pickup is.
Instructions left with us was to head towards door number 11, where a staff from Swissport would be there. And some passengers were given a slip of paper with the rego number of what we assumed was our hotel transport. Here's the thing. The information was given in bits and pieces to separate passengers, and it was really up to us to get together to form the entire puzzle. This is really an excursion to an escape room we didn't sign up for. Door 11 was told to one person. Staff would be waiting was told to another. Rego number of transport was given to another bunch. You get the idea. Not one of us had a cohesive and complete set of instructions what to do. And of course, when we were there waiting, none of these instructions amounted to anything.
The instruction was to turn to the left when we come out of the airport, and here we are, but we don't know where to go. No one's here to see us.
Trying to get hold of Swissport was all but impossible. I approached the kind people of Air New Zealand and they gave me a number to call, which was listed in the internal airport directory. But the call was strangely directed to Jetstar. Go figure.
Bloody hell, it is now 2:45. There is no help from Swissport at all. So we came out, we don't know where the staff is. I found a Swissport staff who was, she was queuing up to buy lunch and I asked her for help. So I don't know how's that gonna go. Yeah, but there's no support for us. Don't know what to do. Alright, this is just shit. The staff from Swissport have all disappeared, so we don't know what to do. Someone was supposed to come and meet us at where we were standing, but they didn't turn up. So I'm gonna go to the information counter for help. Yeah, that's adding to the chaos as well. The last ditch effort, if I'm desperate enough, I'll just approach an airline that's handled by Swissport to see if they can help. I'm just gonna approach random airlines now to see who they're handled by, see if it works. Hi! Are you handled by Swissport or Menzies? Oh, they're Menzies, they're not Swissport. No luck. So now we are the information desk at the airport. None of them are manned. So good job, Auckland Airport. So now we're going to look for another information counter. So hopefully they're manned. It is upstairs at the departure level. So let's see if they're opened. Another information counter that's not manned. So what is the point of having airport help desk and they are not manned at all? So there's the guy. Mate, we're still walking around. We don't know where to go, what to do. No one was there to wait. We never got anything. No, we are going to the hotel.
The bus is down that way.
Where? We don't know where to go. No one told us anything. Yeah, but there's nothing there.
We gave it a six to
Okay, and if we can't find it, who are we gonna? Okay, he's stressed out. So he's from Swissport and he's stressed out. And obviously he's at the end of his shift, so he doesn't want to help. So that's shit really. I mean, leaving us in a lurch like this, no instructions what to do. Yeah. And this drama continues.
Look at the front of the queues.
Yeah.
Look for LATAM. There's big middle signs.
Okay, alright.
Sorry, just because no one's in here.
Alright, thanks. Okay, that was the Swissport office and they're not doing anything either. There's no one there. There's just one guy in there who says she doesn't know what's going on. So he has directed us to LATAM.
Can I say how many papers?
Zone E, he said? Okay, I see the counters open. There you go, LATAM. We're gonna do this again. There, LATAM.
Oh, that's the same thing.
Yeah. Oh.
They issue tickets, but they're fake. They're not real tickets.
Ah, nice. So they've issued tickets for passengers who are stuck, but the tickets cannot be used. So now we're here again. We're back at. We've been here for so long. So the flight that was coming back to Auckland, the counters are now open for check-in. So we've been here for 9 fucking hours already. So we're back here, LATAM. So the counters have opened to check in the flight to Santiago, which isn't operating. So that flight is cancelled now. So, but they opened the check-in counters anyway. So yeah. Okay, now accommodation is sorted, I think. So we're following someone from LATAM. Yeah, let's see where she's gonna lead us to. Man, 10 hours. I came to the airport at 5:30 this morning, so 10 hours now I've been faffing around this freaking airport. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, I know shit happens. Flights get cancelled, flights get delayed, but it depends on how the delay is being handled. And I gotta say, this is a big fail for Swissport. Seriously. This is just unacceptable. Hey. Transport is here, finally.
As one final nail in this coffin of communication failures, there was no arrangement for us to be taken back to the airport tomorrow. While some of us were on the very same LA 801 service, there was a bunch on 6 AM flights and another bunch leaving later in the afternoon, the latter two batches with Qantas. So once again, it was up to us merry band of stranded travelers to arrange for ourselves with the transport company what time to pick us up at the hotel. We narrowed it down to 3 departure times to make it easy and made sure these respective groups were well informed so they do not miss the ride back to Auckland Airport tomorrow. Swissport, once again, we did your job.
We are finally here.
I'm sorry, you're not reserved. There is no reserve.
Now, we have arrived at the Pullman. I will believe it when we get to the room. It's been a long day.
Okay, as a conclusion, let's break this down and try and understand how the hell did this passenger experience go so wrong for us with LATAM Airlines and the ground handling agent Swissport. Firstly, let me make it clear, I am not upset with the airline for cancelling this flight. Safety is number one, and I'd rather the troublesome engine number one be looked at on the ground rather than having fail up in the air when we're halfway across the water. Having LATAM Airlines operate remotely thousands of miles away from Auckland Airport was obviously not working well when a situation like this develops. The agent's hands were tied, and they were under the pump from the barrage of passenger queries, and there was very little answers to be given out. Simply because LATAM Airlines was very non-responsive over WhatsApp. I speculate this poor guy in Santiago was most likely handling issues in other ports in the region as well, not just Auckland. So yeah, not ideal. The elephant in the room. Why was Swissport so bad at communication? Post-pandemic staff shortage in the aviation industry is an issue worldwide, and I believe ground handlers like Swissport is not immune to this. This team of workers were pushed to the max, and I almost felt bad for them. The staff member we found walking to his car in the video almost ran away when he saw us, and he was close to tears, not wanting to answer any more of our questions. A clear sign that poor guy was just so worn out from his shift. But the problem was not solved, and a few passengers amongst the stranded bunch had to step up to look for solutions, me being one of them. We had older passengers in wheelchairs, others who spoke only Portuguese, families with young children, and we were left on our own to fend for ourselves. Is this right? No. But am I empathetic why this happened? Perhaps yes. Finally, I sincerely hope Swissport does have contingencies in place to handle such events. Because based on what we experienced that morning, it seems as if the staff were unable to tame the monster of this rolling delay and flight cancellation. The result of being unable to rein the monster in, it eventually overtook them and ate them up alive. Whatever it is, I'd like to think this team would have had a debriefing among themselves about how this situation was handled and what lessons can be learned from this. Because it would be incredibly insane if what happened this morning were to occur again. What do you think? Have you ever had a flight cancellation before? And if you did, how was your situation handled? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, let's draw this video to a close.
I am finally in a hotel room. So it is now 10 minutes to 5. Man, that was a really long day. 10 minutes to 5. I was at the airport at 5:30 a.m. this morning, and it is now almost 5 p.m. 11 and a half hours this whole kerfuffle has dragged on. It's very disappointing that unfortunately someone, somewhere, has not communicated very well. So this is what happens when you don't have contingencies for delays like this, and it's just communication was just non-existent. So Swissport in Auckland Airport, absolute fail. I understand delays like this happen, shit happens. I mean, airline operations, they go haywire all the time. But the important thing is, how does a company deal with such situations? Well, now I have an extra night in Auckland. Meals are paid for by the airline, hotel is paid for, so I'm just gonna take a step back and enjoy this experience. A paid extra day
of holiday here in Auckland, and then I'm just gonna take a rest. Alright, so yeah, that was my really drawn out experience with LATAM and Swissport. So tomorrow I'm getting back on the same flight, so fingers crossed. Let's hope I don't jinx that flight, and hopefully that flight will depart on time as well. Alright, so yep, that's my experience for today. So in the meantime, I will leave details of my Instagram on your screen right now. So hit me up there, chuck me a follow, so you can actually see what am I up to in real time. And of course, more importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell notification icon, so you know every time I get into such a huge kerfuffle again. Alright, in the meantime, take care all of you, and I will see you for my next video. Bye.